Hello again and welcome to another Queensland Monthly Update. Big thank you to everyone watching this to get the update on where it is that we closed out the month of February for 2021. We're hugely thankful for all of the efforts of everyone right across the beginning stages of this year, because what a tremendous start to the year that we have had. We have closed out the month of February at $1.074 billion, quite an astronomical number, and a number that, when you think about it, pre-COVID, we'd never cracked the $1 billion mark. But now to be talking in the $1 billion range quite consistently, this is the second occasion that this has occurred. A big thank you to everyone for all of the performances that you put in to your respective markets on a daily basis. The group closed out the month at $6.1 billion and $4.36 billion across the nation. Again, just superb numbers. When we think about the group inside the country, $4 billion used to be a very good month, but now to hear that with inside our country alone, and then $6 billion throughout the entirety of the company, what rarefied air. So again, to everyone throughout Queensland, thank you for your enormous performances to reach these lofty targets. But this graph does demonstrate the unbelievable turn of events throughout the course of COVID. When you think about it, through our winter slumber, we hadn't quite cracked the $800 million mark, but we had suggested to everyone that these were exciting times in the market. Inventory was still a challenge at that time, but of course everyone unsure where the market was heading. But as we reached towards the tail end of the year, there was a real sense of energy within inside the market. And of course, as we reached that November period, eclipsing the $1 billion mark and setting a PB for the month of November, $1.1 billion was that number. And so now in the new year, to hit $800 million in January, and now in once again a shortened month, think about that, 4-week month, to do $1.074 billion, quite astronomical, and quietly excited, of course, about where it is that we can hit targets or achieve in terms of the month of March. So please stay tuned as we speak to you in April about that. The highlights for trading throughout the month of February, of course, some real highlights and some excellent PBs. I'd like to congratulate Therese Plath, a person who has been with us for some 31 years, and after over 3 decades, setting a PB is a phenomenal achievement, so congratulations, in and around that $10 million mark. To Roxanne Patterson, I said yesterday you almost would have sold everything in sight in Bracken Ridge, eclipsing the $20 million mark. In a Brisbane Apartments, of course, and Colin Walsh. The boys in Margate, a new office, but an exciting PB for Andrew and Tim as well. To Warren and the team up in Bundaberg, again, congratulations, an excellent PB to be playing in and around that $10 million mark. Very well done. Of course, Zish and the team at Roachdale, some sibling rivalry going on there. But again, playing around $20 million is very exciting numbers indeed. To Maroochydore, Dan and the team, just short of $30 million, but again, well inside the top 10. An enormous performance for that business. Of course, across to Alex Gardner, Mooloolah Valley, Paradise Point to Ali, Reiki and the team, Sanctuary Cove, Matt Gates did almost $25 million in sales. And of course, once again, to Service Paradise, my reckoning has that as back-to-back PB, so congratulations to Andrew, Greg and the team there as well. When we have a look at the market share across the state, we can take a look at these numbers, and we can certainly look at them with an enormous sense of pride. But having said that, when you look at where we have been to where we are now, these numbers give some reason for concern. I would have suggested to you that when you look at the listing share numbers as well, that is where the true concern lies. If we're looking at achieving our overall ambitions of selling 1 in every 4 properties, the listing share numbers really do need to increase. But we know where the body of work exists here, of course, as we run through the markets. 11.2% in North Queensland, Central Queensland at 16.7%, the Sunshine Coast at 11%. Again, we've spoken about the work north of the Maroochy River, some great offices north of that, of course, in Pomona and with inside to Wanton, but we're really looking at filling that Noosa market. North of the river, again, knocking on the door of 20%. South of the river at 15.8%. 15.1%. Interesting when you dissect that market just a little bit further. In and around the Logan marketplace, we've got 20% market share from a number of key offices there, but 15.1% south of the river. So some real work to do in and around just south of the river. And of course, the Gold Coast, working with our Gold Coast leaders there to ensure that that market share number, we arrest that decline. It's a very serious area for us over the coming period of time, particularly that southern end of the Gold Coast. But make no mistake, we can celebrate the GCI numbers that we achieve on a monthly basis, but of course, if we are not achieving with inside this space of both market share and listing share, it should give us true reasons for concern, because the processional effect beyond these numbers becomes GCI. We would like to congratulate, speaking of north of the Maroochy River, we'd like to congratulate both Trevor and Natalie Johnson for opening up Ray White Peregian Springs, a brilliant community-focused couple who work so very, very well with inside that marketplace. You're an excellent addition to the team, and we look forward to some phenomenal results over the coming months ahead. An auction update. Well, listen to these numbers. Some 285 auctions conducted throughout the month of February. There was even a weekend where we sold 100% across the entirety of Brisbane. Well done to all of the parties involved across that weekend. Feels like I'm back in Sydney when I'm speaking these numbers, but close enough to 75% clearance rate. 3 in every 4 auctions are clearing under the hammer. 74% for the month of February in Queensland. 7.4 registered bidders per auction that we do. The Ray White group clearance sitting at 84%, which incorporates numbers, of course, like Western Australia, where the numbers are 60% as well. So phenomenal numbers, but even despite these numbers, what is a little bit concerning is that we are the only state in the group where the numbers are following a downward trajectory. And I would caution everyone against that. This is not about shortening days on market. This is about maximising days on market to ensure that we look under every single rock, to know that when we look our vendors in the eye, that we say that everything that could have been done has been done. And through competition, we have created you the maximum sale price. Too many people falling into the fool's paradise of selling properties very, very quickly. And then the next breath, they turn around and say that they are short on stock. That is not going to win in this market, and he or she who is holding on to their stock for longer and creating competition is the person who is continuing to miss out. We need to make sure that we turn that trend upwards on the pulse graph when it comes to auctions, and I look forward to continuing that conversation, as does Mitch Perryboom and the team, over the coming period of time. Excitingly, our state took out the appraisal of origin. I would like to thank everyone involved. We had 50 groups or 50 of our officers involved with inside appraisal of origin, and big shout out to the team at Maroochydore, who I believe came out on top on that day. Some incredible numbers, but if you have a look at the appraisals throughout our group over the last period of time, that is following an upward trajectory. It's amazing what happens when you don't have inventory and how that impacts your behaviour. I do hope that even as we do sell our stock at the moment, that we ensure that we focus on this place. Don't just wait for the appraisal of origin to roll around, to hold days where your entire office sits and makes phone calls. Perhaps this is now a weekly task to ensure that we are speaking to more people about now being a really exciting opportunity to transact real estate. Of course, at the appraisal, it's so important to speak of competition creation. That is our very DNA. It's a video that Brian White has done of late to our business leaders to ensure that the conversation is not just around shortened periods of time on market, but it's about making sure that we maximise our vendors' price through competition. If you would like to get a copy of this video where Brian speaks passionately about competition creation, about print media, about ensuring that everything that we can possibly do to get our vendors the best price is done, this is a video that is readily available and there for your kit bag. Nothing better than the chairman speaking directly to your vendors and also to the people with inside your business to say that this is what our business as Ray White truly does stand for. And we believe through competition creation that that is a demonstration of our value. It is good to see that our commission rate is holding at an appropriate number, a number that we believe is justified for the service that we do offer. But having said that, if days on market are at 1, 2, 3 days, or if we are talking about off-market transactions, in a lot of circumstances, we are getting lesser numbers based on the fact that the shortened time on market does not necessarily justify the fee. So if we are talking competition creation, if we are talking the auction process, if we are talking about getting our vendors the best price, of course, then this is where we really can hold our ground in terms of providing a true fee for service. Looking at these numbers, we are holding, but as the market continues to rally, I wonder where these numbers will be. Great leaders inside our group know that this is an area of focus, and they are ensuring that they are putting the right process and the right structure into their business so that this place does not actually start to fall down. We understand, of course, over the last period of time that we have been deficient to a point in the training space. I say that with a heavy heart. We have had an excellent online training calendar. Make no mistake about that, but the time has come for us to return to face-to-face training, and we were excited earlier on this month to hold our very first, for the group, return to face-to-face training for the Gold Coast launch of 2021. Some 150 people were registered. We had to wheel out the extra chairs, we had to wheel out the extra tables because 180 people turned up, which shows the yearning for learning. It shows the desire for training. We thank everyone who turned up as a collective approach, not only to foster camaraderie, but of course to become better at their practice and at their art. We look forward to making sure that this does roll out throughout the rest of the network as well. We have tried it, the desire is there, and now we look at implementing this inside the entirety of the network. The plan over the coming period of time is to hold quarterly training sessions, group training sessions for our zones. It will be a zone-based focus. And then on the in-between months of the six-week mark, we will be looking at implementing some further training as well as our online training as well. So with these things in mind, no one inside your business will feel like they are undertrained. As a matter of fact, I'd prefer to have more on the plate than less on the plate. So we will overtrain where appropriate, knowing that these types of markets can make people take shortcuts. And there are no shortcuts to success, and training in this environment is very, very important. We're going to roll that out a little bit more at our upcoming zone meetings, of course. The zone meetings fill out the opposing months to where the state updates are, but our upcoming zone meetings are detailed here, and we really look forward to the team articulating to you at a level of detail the micro aspects of the strategy for us in Queensland. And then of course on the opposing months, the state-based updates will take more of a macro view as to where it is that we are at and where it is that we are going. We are going towards 1 in every 4 properties inside the state. We are thoroughly enjoying this journey of where we are at in terms of sales value at the moment, but of course market share becomes the ultimate goal, 1 in every 4 homes. We look forward to being on this journey with you for many, many years to come, and look forward to updating you on where we do stand for the month of March at the beginning of April. Have a great month.